Hello, anyone, everyone, and no one. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bedrock. Today is episode 1, and what are we going to get into today? Just got done with a little AFK session. Not a lot has happened since the last time we were here. A little bit of AFKing, a little bit of leveling, a little bit of trading. But I've already started running into a problem. Example being this thing. This thing is, as I said before, it's crazy, and it's just completely staying filled up. And it's not just this thing, and what in the world is going on over here? Oh, I know who that is without even asking. I planted a little bit of sugarcane, because I plan on building a sugarcane farm here soon. And I already know who that is. That is Star. She came over here, broke the sugarcane. You watch. I won't touch this. You watch. She will have sugarcane surrounding this whole place and nothing flat. But, that is quite funny. But that's not what we're going to get into today. As I said, you know, the Melon and Pumpkin farm is already becoming an issue. And right here, you know, aside from what I got over there, I've got multiple things of ink. You know, and I want to get a bulk storage going, the shulker box system. Now, I looked online, I tried building my own. Nothing really worked out quite right. But I did look at Cubfans' 1 million items shulker storage system, and I really liked it. And of course, you know, Java, Bedrock, they're just nothing the same at all. So, I started playing around with it. And I got a version that works for Bedrock Edition. Here, let me show you that real quick. And here we are. This one over here, whoop, can stay flying please? This one over here, I started building. This is based off of the Java version that Cubfan did in his video. You know, I followed the block by block tutorial and I knew stuff wasn't going to work. Like, I knew this item elevator wasn't going to work. This host system doesn't work properly. And I'm sure somebody else could look at it that's better at redstone and probably do a better version of what I've did. But I did modify the system to work on Bedrock. So just as an example here, this would be, you know, these chests here would be where all my items would end up from my farms. They would all end up in this system here. And honestly, I don't even know if this system will be big enough. I know this will hold over 1 million items, but I have a feeling that this thing will fill up quite quickly once we start getting farms going. But just as an example, okay, let's run through here. Let's grab some shulker boxes. We're just hitting Q and we're throwing them straight down onto the ground. Now the shulker boxes actually go into these hoppers underneath of this carpet here, and then they flow down through here and hit this dropper. Got a little auto dropper going on here. They send them up and send them over to the dispenser. Alright, we got the observers watching the redstone so that they will fire the dispenser. So that part's pretty plain and simple. So you're able to get the items out of your shulker box. Say you wanted just a couple stacks of ink or whatever, and say you want to cycle through. Say you need some dirt next, so you cycle through, you get the next one, you get your dirt, cycle through, and so on and so forth, and you just cycle through all the items that you want. Now, when the shulkers are broke, hello, can you, yep, that was a full one. It will automatically break a full one unless you have that lever flipped on, which when that lever is flipped on, sends a signal out here and locks the piston that would automatically break them, alright? So when that system's engaged, it's pretty much in unload mode. So you can take all the items you want out, then you're done with it. So, say you got your farms feeding in, you know, you could feed the direct shulkers in here. But say you got an inventory that's a mess, you know, say you got just all kinds of stuff in your inventory, alright? Say you queued up the boxes that you wanted, alright? And say this one was for your sea lanterns and prismarine. You just drop that back off. Then you got one here that holds all your doors. You just drop that one back off. Alright, so then all the items end up in those hoppers down there, underneath here, which feed over into another auto dropper, which goes up into a water vader, which brings them back over. I mean, it's nice. I like it. and I think it will be very useful for us on the realm. And also like that, as I said, I can tie in just about anywhere and feed in from my farm. So I can feed my iron farms into this, sugarcane, melon, pumpkin, any farms that I want to. The items will end up in, come down. You get 2 indicator lights, one when it's halfway full, one when it's completely full. It's nice. And you got a manual input here too. You know, granted I'm just throwing stuff in there that doesn't go in there. But as you can see, it hits the auto dropper, comes up, the water vader, immediately gets picked up by the hopper, brought down into the system. Pretty nice. I like it. So I think we're going to get one of these built today. And I think we're going to go around to each of the farms that we do got. We only got one iron farm right now. We got the Melon and Pumpkin farm. And we got the area where we're getting fish and stuff from. So let me get back onto the realm, grab some resources, and let's get started with this. It always happens. It always happens. I could build 50 witch farms and never get a thunderstorm. And before I have one up, always thunderstorms. Always. It never fails. It never fails. Okay. We've gathered up some resources. I think we've got just about everything. I started clearing out a little area because it does go 3 below the ground. The total thing is 10 wide. It does extend up a little bit. I'll probably have to remove that in a minute. It's kind of funny. I used to never do this. You know, I would just build my redstone just however. You know, playing with a builder for about 2 years kind of makes you start to get aware of things like that. I used to build some monstrosities, and I mean monstrosities with redstone, and be like, okay, how are we going to hide this? And the guy I played with was just, you could just hear it in his voice. He'd be like, what have you done? What? Yeah, that's how it happens. I kind of messed some things up. But let's get this thing started, shall we? We've got the first little bit in, and I figured I would go ahead and stop for a moment. I noticed in my first video that I did a little bit too much on the jumps, so I figured I'd explain what we got so far. So far we've got our dispenser in that will dispense our shulker boxes, okay? Now, any shulker box that gets through onto the ground will land on any of these hoppers here, which in turn will lead over to this dropper. Now, this dropper here is going to be an auto dropper, so if I put a comparator, repeater, and let's just run some dust back around into the comparator, and let's put another repeater right about there. So now, anytime anything ends up in here, it's going to come up and end up in the dispenser here. Now, we chose a dispenser because we don't want it to actually drop our shulker boxes. Alright, so that part's already wired in. Now we need a failsafe for it to fire in case multiples keep going through for updates. So if I put observer, boom, boom. Alright, so that's got that in. Now next we need to get the chest in, and they go in a pattern just about like that, followed by hoppers on each side. This is your input chest here, and over here is where the water vader is going to be. I think it's right about here. We're not quite there yet though. Alright, so from here we just continue this process up. So let's go 3, 4, 5. Did I reach all those? Yeah, I reach all those easy. Probably reach 6, but we're going to leave it at 5. So we will bring all of these around like so. Grab our hoppers. Hello, please go in there, and then there, and there. And now we do the same thing on that side. And now the other side's in. Went ahead and framed up the area to see what I was working with. Added in my redstone lamps, my crafting table, and my block to toggle the system on and off from load to unload mode. So got that one in. Now let's go ahead and get in our... Did I do that too far? Wait a minute. Wrong here. Something's wrong. Oh, yep. Had that all pushed forward too far. Alright, so now we get our sticky piston in here. Our breaking block in there. Yep, that looks right. Let's add another solid block right there. No, not there. right there. Get our button. Okay, there's our breaker and the lever for toggle on and off, which we have not wired in yet. Okay, next we want to start on the drop evader. So if I get my dropper positioned here, and I have no soul sand. Soul sand. Oh, gotta go. Soul sand in place, and now... Can I not place you there? Okay. 3, boop, boop, doop, 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 and doop. Alright, now we need glass over the top of these chests here, because we still need to open them, and we have to run power into these in a little bit. So we will put some blue ice here. Bring some more glass along the front here. It doesn't have to, or back here, it doesn't have to be glass. You can make it whatever you want. More glass here. Bring this hopper up an additional hopper. Same with this side. And we'll go ahead and cap this all off in glass. Alright, so now we add in our, have you back please, our water. Uh-oh. Oh, thought I made a mistake. Mistakes may have been made. Mistakes were made. Alright, now that our mistakes have been corrected, the last step, we add in glass there to temporarily block that off. Water there, all the way across, and then break the glass. And I cap that there. I don't know. Let's see what we got so far. So now if I throw, let's say, those sticky pistons into there. Heard clicks. I heard clicks. I don't see sticky pistons. What did I do wrong? Why do you hate me? You worked in my tests. Please. Try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay, next step. Now we need to add in our observers to auto break, or sorry, not auto break, to re-auto dispense next shulker when we push the button. Boom boom. Alright. Got that. Now we need to add in our detector to detect when the shulker box is full. We are in that mode, so let's see. We need comparator. Alright, so we go comparator here, comparator here. We have a higher strength input. Now we go glat, that. Right? Is that right? And dust, I guess, but repeater. Alright, that should be that in. Now I need the system to lock it if this lever is on. Oh, the fun part is trying to do all this from memory. Let's just temporarily add that. Alright, so if I do that, that does not power that. Let me put you there and have you. Okay, so that locks that. That should be in place now. I feel like that's got it all worked out. So I went and grabbed all my shulker boxes. Let's see if they actually end up in the system where they should be. Everything appears to have gone over. Nothing over here. Sticky pistons from earlier. Okay, so let's flip light on. Means repeater's locked, I think. So let's test this. Drop some melons, a few things. Alright, we got our melons. Got our arrows. Nice. Everything appears to be working as it should be. Alright, let's just flip this on so it auto breaks. Teeny weeding problem. Was testing some more and you caused a problem. Okay, alright, so that just doesn't need to be there. And that all acts as full blocks. Nice. Alright, so now time to get this labeled and get this looking just a little bit better. Got that sorted a little bit. Added some carpet down. Added in some random blocks. I'm pretty sure there's an unwritten law somewhere that says I'm not allowed to try to do any cosmetics. I mean, I'm pretty good with mechanics, I am. But what I want to do and how I execute it are just two different things completely. Oh yay, realm restart in just a minute. Alright, I've worked on that a little bit more. Kinda like where it's at right now. I couldn't figure out everything that I wanted to do with it, honestly. There was a point where I was like, yeah, I don't know how to hide all this, and it's still not hidden. I actually brought the landscaping over. I kind of want to make it feel like it's nestled into the side of the wall there. But I mean, I like it. I do. It still needs work. I'm not done, but I am about out of inspiration for this today. I did find a flaw with this, though. Let me break this. If you had previously put a single shulker in, now if you put two in, it worked perfect. But if you put a single in, I guess it was only 2 ticks because there was only 2 observers there. And of course it had to fire and travel around, which, I don't know, my math could be wrong. That's 1, 2, 3, like 4 ticks. So I had to add in a few more extra observers to extend that pulse. But, close this here. Actually works really good now. I really like it. Yeah, that was me testing a while ago. So if I just drop it out, give it just a moment here to process through. I like it. I really do. So next on the list, it's always nighttime. At least it's not raining this time. It's rained like 15 times today while I've been playing already. And I think 4 of them were thunderstorms. Next on the agenda of what we're going to do today is to do something about this, because once again it's completely over full. Another 4 hours and it's just completely full. I've went through here several times now, crafted up all the melons, you know, but it's just completely full. I think I want to put a item filter here to separate the melons from the pumpkins. I want to come up with some kind of device, kind of like an auto dropper. You know how some smelters are hooked up with hoppers? I want to do a whole array. I'm not sure where I want to do it yet, where I can throw in like 10 shulkers full of melons. I want them to all dispense out, bleed down into some droppers, and if I turn it on, every one of them just sit and spit the items out at me. And so I can just sit here and mass craft them without having to open every individual shulker, pull out all the melons, craft them, pull the rest of them out. So I want to make some kind of device for that. But I think first is I want to get some item filters on each of those and start getting all those items pumped in here. You can call me Mr. Derpage. OBS crashed on me after my last clip. I don't know if any of y'all ever use it or not for video editing, but it crashed on me. I heard the ding in my ear and I didn't even think about it. I just continued playing and kept thinking I was recording clips like an idiot. Yeah, so there's been a little bit of progress again. I've got to make sure to listen for that bling when OBS crashes. For some reason when I'm recording, if there is a loud sound going on, like if I was closer to that minecart and I quit recording, for some reason it causes OBS to crash on me every time. I don't know if anybody else out there that records experiences this problem. If you do, have you found a fix to it? Because I find it really, really annoying. But that being set aside, there has been some progress. I have built this area underneath here. I've got my item filters and I've got them going into a shulker loader down here. Now, let me jump around here to the back. Now, I've got, from the Melon and Pumpkin farm, I've got them feeding down, and they feed into independent item filters here. Like this one here is grabbing the pumpkins, and of course this one here is grabbing the melons. Now, I use the exact same loading device that I used on the other farm over there. And, you know, simple, load in your shulkers here. And did you hear that? Another thunderstorm. Another thunderstorm. Let me just turn my sound down for a second. Maybe Scarlet can sleep. Let's turn this down to here. Alright. I've also got in an overflow system where if the system runs out of shulkers and it continues to back up, eventually, once this system is backed up far enough, it's just going to auto dispense them out into lava to get rid of them. Now, if we go around here to the front, you'll see there's shulker there. It's being filled up. Same concept. It's got a detector. It detects when it's full. It breaks it, redispenses the next one. The shulkers come down and follow the water path down throughout the system. Same with the melons. Alright, now if we quickly try to get down through here. Oh yay, this is fun. Swimming and running, swimming and running. Alright, now if we get down here to this end, the shulkers end up going into said hopper, and then into a little bit of a drop evader leading up to the top, and filters them into the storage system. Alright, now let me get out of here. But it works pretty good. I mean, I'm really liking it so far. We have got more melons, more pumpkins. I've already started, but it's not done. So we'll go into that next episode because I really need to work on that area. The auto dropper system. But before we head off, let's just check one more thing here. Has anybody else played with the sugarcane today? Any? Doesn't look like it. Alright, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.